Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon here today in the lead up to E3 2021. I thought it would be fun to just take a look at my personal predictions slash wish list. More of a wish list really, because my predictions aren't honestly that interesting. It's going to be the same kind of stuff you'd see on just about anyone else's list. But I still thought it'd be fun to just kind of go over this, over what I'd like to see or what I think is going to happen, and then I can look back on it later and see just how wrong I was. Spoiler is very wrong, probably very wrong. I have some very unrealistic wishes. But so I thought we'd start with the predictions, then move into the wish lists, and then at the end I figured, since it kind of ties into the wish list, I figured I'd talk what I think is going to happen with Smash, or what I want to happen with Smash, versus what I think will actually happen. So, for predictions, the big one, right off the bat, Breath of the Wild 2. I think pretty much everyone's expecting something for it. Even if we don't get a huge amount of news, probably at least like some kind of like small trailer or teaser or something. Even if it's just like a really, really tiny little trailer and then it says, Zelda Direct later this year or something like that. I could see something like that happening, and I think that's a pretty solid chance that that's going to happen. And then the other one that's pretty much a lock, I think, for most people is Smash in some form. Again, I'll talk more about which characters I think it could be or want later at the end, but I think pretty much everyone agrees that Smash is going to show up. But the question is, will it be one or two characters? I've seen some people say that we'll see both the characters revealed there, like a double E3 reveal like they did for Banjo and Hero. But personally, I feel like it's just going to be one. I think the way it's going to go down is they're going to stretch it to the end, and we're going to get one Smash character at E3 with an announcement either there or shortly after of when we can expect the Mr. Sakurai Presents for that character. Then we'll get that presentation for the character where he'll break down the character and everything like he always does. And then at the very end of that, it'll be like Cloud's thing, Cloud's reveal or whatever, where it was like Newsflash, Smash Bros. Special broadcast, and they'll give a date for that. And that's when we'll get the final character, and it'll be like Byleth, where they had the character trailer, and where it was like just Sakurai Presents ? And it'll start with the character trailer and move right into a full presentation of that character to wrap up Smash Bros. DLC. That's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, I think I could definitely see a double E3 reveal. They just want to get it all done out of the way. Sakurai wants to wrap it up early and go on vacation. He deserves it. But if I had to guess, I think we're going to see one character at E3. For other more iffy predictions, I've heard rumors about like a Donkey Kong game, and I think it's Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary, so that wouldn't really surprise me if we see Donkey Kong get a little bit of a spotlight. The last big DK thing was Tropical Freeze, I think, right? And that was just a port to the Switch from the Wii U version. So I guess Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on Wii U was the last fully new Donkey Kong thing we got. So I could definitely see them bringing up a Donkey Kong project. And then another thing, it's been, 2 years, I think? So probably about time for a Fire Emblem game, but I think it'll be a remake, not a full-fledged new game. It's way too soon for a full new game. But a remake does sound about right, and people have been predicting one for a while now. The question is, what game will it be? I've heard, the main three that I've heard thrown around, the main ones I've heard thrown around are Genealogy or Thracia 4 or 5 remake, which is the one that I think is the most likely, personally. It just makes sense since the dismount mechanic is like part of that, to build it off of 3 houses, which already has dismount included. I've heard one or both of the Alib games getting a remake, so Roy's game or Elliewood's game, which would make sense. I think the producer for Shadows of Valentia mentioned that they would want to remake Roy's game next, personally, if given the choice. So it would make sense for them to move to Alib next. And I've also heard Ike's game, either Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, thrown around as a contender, although I've heard that one less. And personally, I don't really see why, aside from the fact that those games are just stupidly rare and Nintendo refuses to put them on like the eShop or anything like that. The fact that they're scarce is really the only thing that I can think of as to why those would be next. So I lean more towards Genealogy or Thracia getting a remake personally. Now, you ask me, I want Fates on the Switch. I want nobody to be happy. Put Fates on the Switch, I'll buy it again. Give me Corrin. And then some other fairly safe things. I think we could definitely see some kind of Pokemon teasers, but they'd be really short. I don't think they're going to go really big with it. They'll probably save more in-depth trailers for either Legends Arceus or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl or whatever for like a full-scale Pokemon Presents. But I could definitely see them getting a little tidbit there, but I'm a little less sold on that. And I think we'll see some more of Splatoon 3, not a whole lot, but just a little teaser just to kind of remind us, hey, this is coming. Nothing really big with those. Some that I'm even less sure on, but I could see are basically the ones that I'm like, if everyone keeps predicting this, it'll happen eventually, just like with the people who keep leaking the Switch Pro, right? Bayonetta 3, Pikmin 4, and Metroid Prime 4. Basically, you know, you just kind of throw those on every prediction list, and eventually they'll come true, right? They're long overdue. We haven't heard anything about it. Actually, I guess since Metroid restarted development, it makes sense why that one we haven't heard anything on. But the other two, definitely we should have heard something by now, so I feel like maybe we'll see something for those. But again, like they've just been so consistently absent. It's hard to really say, yeah, these are definitively going to show up here. But I would really like to see especially Bayonetta and Pikmin show up. I don't personally have a huge investment in Metroid, but I do feel like it's about time to show something. Just show people that it is actually being worked on. It's overdue. And then I could see us getting something for Kirby. That's HAL Laboratories, I think. And they've been like weirdly silent. Like, I don't think they've done anything since Star Allies. And so I think they probably have some kind of project going on. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get another Kirby game or something. Just kind of a fairly safe prediction again. And similarly, Monolith Soft might introduce something new. Although, personally, I don't really want Xenoblade 3 yet. I still feel like it's just a little too soon. Really, I loved Xenoblade 2. I know it's kind of hit or miss for a lot of people, but I loved Xenoblade 2. And really, the only thing I really feel like was really wrong with it is I feel like it just needed a little more time in the oven. I think it just needed a little more polish. You know, lip syncing was a little wonky sometimes. Just kind of smooth that out a little. It could use a little more time. I feel like give a little more time before unveiling like Xenoblade 3 or anything like that. And then another really big thing is Zelda. Aside from Breath of the Wild, I think we could see something there. Though, again, I'm not sold on it because we did get Skyward Sword HD, but Mario also got Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and then also a collection. So I could see Zelda getting some kind of collection as well. Like a collection of ports, like either Twilight Princess or Wind Waker HD, either as just standalone ports, or maybe like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask ported over. I could see something like that happening, or even like remakes of the Oracle games using the Link's Awakening engine could be really cool. Though that might be a little too ambitious. But something else for Zelda's 35th I could see happening. Also, as a really off-the-wall kind of prediction would be something like Mario 35, where it's Zelda 35, and they cut out it's like the original Zelda, and they cut out the overworld, but you just constantly go through rooms of like this dungeon, and like after you get the Triforce piece at the end, it just loops to the next dungeon. But basically, just try and clear the dungeon while enemies you kill go to the other player's screens, and theirs comes to you. I think that'd be really funny. I don't know if it would work, but I wouldn't have guessed that Mario works as a battle royale, so I think that'd be a really funny thing to do. And I probably wouldn't personally play it, but I think it'd be really cool to see. And then the other things that I think could really happen towards the end are just like some general third-party stuff that doesn't really interest me, and then maybe the traditional Nintendo one more thing at the end, some big surprise that people aren't really expecting. I don't know what could really fit though. If they do show like Bayonetta 3, that could fit there, or like some other third-party game, even just like a port that people have been asking for a lot, like, I don't know, Persona 5 or Nier Automata, though I really don't think either of those are coming at this point. They just haven't happened yet. I don't think they're going to happen. Maybe Prime 4 could fill that spot, because people have been asking for that for a long time. Breath of the Wild could, but I don't think so. I think they'll want to put a bigger emphasis on it, and they wouldn't want to just save it towards the end. I feel like they already did that with Breath of the Wild 2 once. I don't think they'll do it a second time with it. And, of course, they could, if they do a double reveal, or even just a single reveal, they could end on the Smash character. That would make sense. And then, like a throw-in, I just don't think we're going to see Switch Pro in here. We could, but I just don't feel like it. They said specifically software was going to be the showcase here. So I feel like we should just take them at their word. I don't think we're going to see Switch Pro here, personally. So that does it for like the predictions, but again, those are just kind of really boring and safe predictions. Sorry. But that's what I feel like is going to happen with those. As for wishlist things, where I get a lot more unrealistic, again, Xeno 3 is kind of a thing that I'm interested in, but I don't want to see yet. Like, just give it more time. Polish it up a little. And not really a wish, but just kind of an observation I had earlier today, actually, was, why haven't they done anything with Nintendogs? Like, didn't that sell pretty well? I feel like they could put, like, Nintendogs 2 on the Switch and it would sell really well. But, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Observation that I had, that I wrote down. For other things that I really want to see, as always, I always ask for 2 ports, Tales of Symphonia and Phantom Brave. The funny thing is, after the last Nintendo Direct, it wasn't part of that Direct, but shortly after, like an hour afterwards, they announced a port of Phantom Brave for the Switch, and I was very excited and very sad that wasn't in the Direct, because I would have lost my mind. I did lose my mind, actually. I was very excited. I wish I'd been recording so that everyone could have seen me lose my mind over one of my favorite games getting put on the Switch. But another game that I really want and I always ask for is Tales of Symphonia. I would really love to see that on the Switch. Again, I really don't think it's going to happen, but boy, I'd love it. I wish they would put more Tales of games on the Switch. They only have like 1 so far, but it's like really big series in Japan. I don't know why they haven't put more of them on the Switch, and Tales of Symphonia would be my personal pick, because it's the only one I've played, and it's one of my favorite games. And then similar kind of pipe dream, though even more, like, this is never going to happen, but I really want a Mother collection. Give me Earthbound, give me Mother 3, give me Earthbound Beginnings, which is actually a really good game. It just needs some like polishing up. Put it in like the Earthbound art style. Put those 3 on 1 cart, put it on the Switch, and I will cry with happiness. That's my big. It's never gonna happen, but I always ask for it thing. I really want an Earthbound collection of some kind. Like, why isn't Earthbound on the Nintendo Switch Online? Like, it can't be that hard to put it on there, right? Like, come on, something, some crumbs, please. And then another thing I really want, but I know it's never gonna happen, is a revival of Custom Robo. I really love Custom Robo on the GameCube, and I'd just really like to see the series have another chance on Switch. I think the Switch could do a lot of cool things for it. In particular, just having a really big audience of people who would actually maybe notice it this time around. I know it was on the DS, but I don't think it sold very well there, which is probably why we haven't gotten a new Custom Robo. But I just want the series to get another shot. It deserves it. Another thing that I'm not as in love with it as a lot of other people, but I would like to see like a Mario Odyssey 2, not necessarily Mario Odyssey 2, but just a follow-up or new 3D Mario game. I really loved Odyssey. It's probably my favorite 3D Mario game that I've played. So seeing another game in that style would be really cool, even if it's not a direct follow-up, because admittedly I have a hard time thinking of how I would do a direct follow-up to Odyssey, because it kind of ends on like the perfect note. But a new 3D Mario would be really cool to see, but I don't think, like, I don't put it as a prediction, because if I just don't think that they've had time to work on one. Even if they were building off of Odyssey, I think it'd still need more time. I think it's still been a little too soon, especially if that team has been working on other projects, which I have heard they were rumored to be working on something else. So I don't know, but I think that'd be cool to see. And then the big one, a substantial update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. It needs something big. Like the tiny content updates that we got over like the past year were just mostly events and then like a handful of furniture pieces, but it didn't really fix most of the big issues that the game had. Yeah, I've logged a disgusting amount of time on it, almost 1,000 hours. So you could definitely say that, Brandon, you've more than gotten your money's worth. But like, it just feels not finished. It feels I prefer New Leaf as much time as I spent on New Horizons. It just feels like there's so much that New Leaf had that it's missing. In particular for me, indoor furniture options are so limited. I love interior decorating. The exterior decorating is really cool, but I shine more on interior decorating. That's what I have more fun with. So having such limited interior options that look good is really disappointing for me. So just a lot of new furniture would be a big step in the right direction, but also just minor quality of life things like being able to buy multiple outfits at once at Able Sisters, being able to buy multiple Nook tickets at once, just things like that. It's just crafting multiple pieces of fishing bait at once. Like, it's just tedious. It's very annoying, you know. Just fix it. Another thing I would like to see would be Genshin Impact on Switch. I think it's been pretty obvious at this point that I've kind of gotten obsessed over that game. I really like it, but I'd like it even more if I could play it on my bed. I know it's very unlikely, even if we see Genshin here, it's even less likely that we'd see crossplay for me to be able to transfer my account from the PS4 over to the Switch, but boy, that would make me very, very happy. Very, very, very happy. I'd actually probably be willing to pay for that feature. I'd be willing to pay to be able to move my account from the PS4 to the Switch. Just saying. Then the last thing, the last like big thing that I'd like to see, but again, I don't think would happen here. I feel like they'd save it for like a Pokemon Presents, would be a remake for Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time or Darkness or Sky, however they want to do it. A remake of that would be really cool. My favorite Mystery Dungeon game. And I'd love to see it. I know we got DX just a little bit ago, so I don't think that even if they did show it here that it'd be really ready yet. but I think it'd be cool to get that in some form or fashion. But then, finally, the big wish list want for me leads into Smash is my most wanted newcomer, Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. I couldn't have Rex. I kind of got my Xenoblade 2 rep, but I didn't get the one I wanted. I mean, to be fair, Rex isn't even my most wanted Xenoblade 2 rep. I like Nia more than him, but like I figured Nia's not getting in over Rex. And then Rex didn't get in over Pyra and Mithra, so... actually, like, Pyra and Mithra were like my fourth pick, honestly. It would have been Rex, or it would have been Nia, Rex, Malos, then Pyra and Mithra, but like, I knew it, well, realistically, Nia and Malos weren't going to happen, but Rex actually had a shot, so I wanted him the most. But for the new character, I would most be excited for Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. I love him. He was kind of a character that I didn't know I wanted until, because like Tales of Symphonia is one of my favorite games, but it came, or like when I was playing that and I started to think about characters I wanted for Smash, that was right around, I feel like, when I was starting to grasp the difference between like a character owned by Nintendo and a character owned by a different company. And so I kind of just dismissed Lloyd right away as like oh, he's not an actual Nintendo character, he wouldn't get in. So at the time, like, my wish list was like the villager from Animal Crossing and Olimar. Those were my wanted for a new Smash game before Brawl came out. And then like I had a really big pipe dream of the farmer from Harvest Moon. But like I just didn't even really consider Lloyd. But then years later, when we got the Mii costumes, and I saw Lloyd as a Mii costume, I was like, oh my god, he's the character I wanted. Like, I didn't even know who to vote for on the Smash ballot because I had just gotten Lucas, who was my previous most wanted to return, right before they announced the ballot. So I was like, I don't know who to put for this. And then we got, so I just put down like Inkling and Waluigi. No, not Waluigi, I put Chrom. I put Inkling and Chrom as my Smash ballot picks. And I was like, I can't think of anyone, so I'll just put these guys down. And then once I saw Lloyd as a Mii costume, I was like, oh no, I should have picked Lloyd. I should have voted for Lloyd. It was just a situation of I suddenly realized that was who I wanted. So Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia is definitely the last character remaining that actually has a chance that I would like to see. There's some other characters I think would be cool. I'd like to see maybe Cinderace as like my other first party pick, though. Like, I wouldn't lose my mind over Cinderace. It'd be like, yeah, okay. It's more of a, if we have to get a Pokemon, this is the one I pick for this gen. But again, like, I'm not that in love with Cinderace. I think like 2B from Nier Automata or Sora from Kingdom Hearts would be cool too. But none of them would excite me quite as much as Lloyd would. Yeah, I know, another anime swordsman. I know what I'm about, okay? So those are who I would pick personally. But I don't feel like, I know Lloyd keeps dodging bullets, but I feel like every time I say it's do or die for him, but then he somehow does neither. But I really do feel like he's not going to show up this time at E3. I think he's probably going to be a Mii costume again, but I don't think he's showing up at E3. But if I had to guess, I don't know, I feel Crash Bandicoot, like, I don't really care for him one way or the other, but that's just who I feel is going to show up. I don't really know who else would show up. Like, I don't know, he just makes sense, I feel. So anyway, I've rambled long enough. So yeah, Lloyd is who I want most, but I think it's gonna be Crash. Those are my predictions / wish list for Nintendo's E3 presentation. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Who do you want to see? What do you want to see? Who do you predict, or what do you predict will show up? You probably can't be more wrong than me, so there's that. But anyway, this was just a fun thing I wanted to do. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, until next time, this is City Angel Brandon signing out. See you at E3.